Dear listeners, what if your nutrition plan, your workout protocol, your supplement stack, and your recovery strategy were all built specifically for your body and not based on a kind of generic template, but on your biology, your lifestyle, your goals, and real time data about how your body actually responds? Yes. So for decades, that level of personalization was only available to the Olympic athletes and Hollywood A listers, right? So today, we will talk to the man who built that system for some of the most recognizable bodies of the planet. Yes. And we ask what happens when AI brings it to rest of us, right? So, hey, listeners, welcome back to another powerful episode of AI Biz, where we explore how artificial intelligence is changing the way we do business, build careers, and live our lives. I'm your host, Avik, and today's guest, you know everyone, right? Please welcome Rehan Salali. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, Rehan, for joining us today. And dear listeners, before we delve deep into the discussion, because today's topic is very, very great, and you will be hearing from Rehan about all the known and most recognizable bodies on the planet, like I mentioned. But before we do that, I'll quickly love to introduce you to Rehan. So, Rehan is a Beverly Hills based certified sports nutritionist, TEDx speaker, best-selling author of The Six-Pack Diet Plan, filmmaker, radio host, and the man, one of my favorite. You know everyone. Can you guess? Okay, so it's Sylvester Stallone. You all watched Rambo, and I guess most of you have seen. I mean, I always have followed him a lot, but you can imagine. So, the man Sylvester Stallone called the best of the best. So, over 25 years, Rehan has worked with Oscar, Emmy, and Grammy winners, Olympic gold medalists, Super Bowl champions, and some of the most high performance humans on the planet. So he's formulated over 120 products, generating more than $150 million in sales. And his mission is his own words, is to change the world one body at a time. So I'll not take much of your time. Rehan, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Wow, what an intro. My God. She's my PR agent.
Thank you so much, Rehan, and it's really my pleasure to have you and host you definitely. So Rehan, like 25 years in Beverly Hills, working with the most high performance human beings on the planet, like as I mentioned, Oscar winners, Olympians, Super Bowl champions. But before we get into where AI is taking all of this, I want to understand the foundation that you built. So when someone like Ben Affleck or the Forest Whitaker comes to you, what does that first conversation actually reveal? I mean, not about their body, but about that gap between what people think they know about nutrition and fitness and what is actually true. So if you can just share.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think the most important thing is customization. And that's something I've built my whole business on is personalization. And so the first conversation we have is always, I want to get to know the individual on a mental, physical, spiritual level. Because if I don't understand the person in full detail, then I can't give them the best plan for success. So in my business, we don't have time for failure. So we can't fail. It's impossible. We have to have success 100% of the time because it's just too much money and everything else at stake. So the way we produce the best results is that first conversation. When they come in, I get to know them intimately. I ask very deep
Mhm.
questions. And then from there, we do a lot of blood work. We do genetic testing. We do a lot of body analysis. So we figure out, okay, this is the blueprint of you. Got it. Okay. Now we have the blueprint. Now we can build a house, right? But you can't build a house if you don't have a blueprint. You don't just put bricks together. You have to have a game plan. And so our plan is personalization, is customization, is giving the very specific biochemical needs of that person. And that's why we get very good results very fast because I know everything about you. Everything about you is already known. So once I know everything about you, then we give you the exact plan for success.
Wow. Amazing. The best in the world still needs someone who actually knows that never changes. And obviously, what you have spent 25 years building in is exactly the kind of deep expertise that AI is now trying to scale. So definitely we'll explore together. So I'd love to talk about the misconception part also. Like this show, AI Biz is built around making AI practical and understandable for the regular people. And I definitely want to start with the biggest misconceptions, or maybe a misconception in the field. Like the fitness and the nutrition space has been absolutely flooded with AI powered apps, personalized diet algorithms, wearable data trackers, machine learning platforms that promise to optimize your health, right? So, from your perspective, someone who has been building truly personalized programs long before any of the technology existed. So, what is the most important thing these AI fitness tools are getting wrong? Like, what does that genuine personalization actually require that these algorithms alone cannot provide?
Well, that's a great question. And I look, I'm a big fan of AI. I'm not one of those people who are anti AI. I love AI. I think, look, it's like any tool. I think AI is a tool. My client Ben Affleck talked about that in movies. In movie making, AI is a tool. It enhances. Same with fitness. AI is a tool to enhance, to make things easier. We always say time and money, right? AI saves us time and money. And that's what it boils down to. So I think it's a great tool to enhance the fitness process. Now, here to me, the limitations are you're dealing with human beings. So what AI can't do is they can't show up to a workout session and train someone, right? They can't stretch someone out. They can't physically manipulate the body and read them in real time. So for example, if you have an AI program that says, hey, do this, 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 and someone shows up to the workout and their neck hurts a little bit today, right? So you got to adjust on the fly. And that's the kind of readability, individualism, the readability that humans have above AI, that we have to make real time decisions at that time to adjust, to enhance, to improve. So that's kind of the limitation of it. As far as personalization and understanding someone, again, it's a great tool. Now, the combination is always going to be better. It's always a combination, and that's what it is. And like any technology, when social media came out, when email came out, when all the newest
Yeah.
cell phones came out, everybody was scared because, oh my God, what's going to happen? But no, we always adapt, we adjust, and AI
Yes.
is the most powerful technology ever to exist in humankind. And it's only getting better every single day. And I think it's an amazing tool to really enhance, and machine learning as it improves. And again, it kind of goes to what I do, personalization. So the machine learning can learn you and learn your habits and fine tune programming, but it can never replace a trainer, for example, or someone who's there physically that could make real time decisions at that moment to adjust, to adapt, to quickly do things at that time. So again, let's use AI, let's maximize, and let's get a better body and health.
Exactly. I totally agree on this. Yes, yes. I mean, like, so AI is definitely the powerful accelerator, but not yet a kind of a replacement for the deep human expertise, and at least not on the high stakes, like biochemically complex world you operate in, right? So definitely. And one of the most exciting promises of AI, I would say, in the health and fitness is truly about the personalization or personalized nutrition, like moving beyond like the eat this, avoid that kind of thing. So, I mean, generic advice to programs that are built around specific genetics, the blood work, metabolic rate, also about the lifestyle as well, like how the lifestyle is. So, you have been doing the human version of this for 25 years. It's a huge, huge number of years of experience. So, what are the variables that matter most in genuine nutritional personalization? Like, how close do you think we actually are to AI being able to model that, or modern, I would say, kind of create a model them reliably?
That's a great question. I think, look, I think again, it's a tool to amplify. Now, will it ever replace a human looking at an individual? I don't think so. I think that there's too much individuality, experience, and it's also readability. For example, if I put a blood work into AI and say, read this blood work, It'll be based on current research, but it won't be based on my personal real world experience with said client. So, for example, if in traditional blood work, most doctors will say, "Hey, you know what? Your testosterone levels are normal." But for someone who's exercising and someone who's been training for 20 years, your testosterone levels are actually low, as would read it, but AI would read it differently. So that's kind of the difference about that is that we would read things differently, and there are certain limitations. But to me, the most important thing in personalization that I found in 25 years, 30 years of doing it is preferences. You have to know a person's preferences because I could come
Yeah.
up with the greatest program. The AI could come up with the greatest program in history for that person, right? But if that person hates broccoli and if they don't like to eat chicken, they're not going to follow it, right? They might follow it for a week or 2 weeks, but if you don't understand their preferences, then you won't have success. So I think understanding someone's preferences and their likes and dislikes, that is so critical because we can't do anything else if someone's not going to follow the program. So once I understand someone's preferences, then we use the advanced technology, the biochemical analysis, the DEXA scanning, the body, scans. Then we figure out, okay, now we know what this person is willing to do and eat, what he likes to eat. Now let's fit that into their biochemical sort of program.
That's interesting. And I'd love to ask you here, like as you mentioned, that personalization is reading that person, understanding that person's requirement. It actually what helps. So I'd love to ask you, like, I mean, what about working with someone like Stallone? Like, what actually uh, looked like? I mean, behind the scenes, or what it demanded of him professionally, because he I mean, his physique and his all image is something which lot of millennials and I'm not so sure about Gen Zs, but millennials are the one who actually followed him. So, what do you want to say on this?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think Stallone is, to me, he's one of the most inspirational people on earth. I mean, I think the guy is literally a real life Rocky story. And he came from nothing. He built his, career and brand up. One of the hardest working people you'll ever meet in your life. He's almost 80 years old, still trains, still lifts, still does
Yeah.
everything, does his own stunts sometimes, which is crazy
Mm.
to me. But really, someone who's a very inspirational, motivational person. And actually, he gave me invaluable advice. He was actually my first client and he gave me invaluable advice about Hollywood, about just LA, about the individuals, and he helped support my career more than anybody else. He gave me a testimonial for my book. He supported my connections with people. He introduced me to most of Hollywood, and really gave me this incredible advice, and almost like as a mentor. I was helping him with his body and health. He was helping me with my career.
Yeah.
He really was. It really was one of the most important people in my life to really help support my growth and my journey in this business. So kudos to Sly. We love Sly Stallone.
Exactly, exactly. Kudos to Stallone. I mean, it is very. I mean, it'll be very less to. I mean, say anything because he has achieved that thing, and he is obviously the. I mean, we definitely follow him. We love him, and I mean, whatever he did, it's just something which a normal human can also do, but the dedication actually matters the most. I totally agree with you. So coming back to the technology part, which we were saying, like also about the wearable technology, like the rings, watches, continuous glucose monitors, HRV trackers, is actually producing an I'd say unprecedented amount of personal health data for the ordinary people, right? But the data without interpretation is just the numbers. So, how should the average person be thinking about all of this health data that they are now collecting? So, I mean,
Yeah.
what do you say?
Yeah, I think look, I think information is power. I think information is power. Knowledge is power. You have to know your body. And a lot of those trackers, some of them are not accurate, some of them are. The accurate ones are actually very helpful because you can figure out how you're sleeping, for example. You can figure out your resting metabolic rate, your blood sugar levels, and you can track blood sugar, how food affects you. Because again, everybody's individual. So you have this thing called the
Yeah.
glycemic index, where it measures the effect of carbohydrates on blood sugar levels or food on blood sugar levels. And You can use trackers to continuously track how food affects your body and how it raises your blood sugar levels. So it's a great tool, again, to support health and wellness. I think you can use it. I think it's effective. And again, it gives you more information how to optimize. We always say, look, anybody can do the minimal, right? But to do the optimal is different. That's what it requires: testing, wearables, all this technology. And I believe in using technology. I think we have to
Yeah,
adapt or die. We always adapt and we go with the times. And I think that if you adapt and if you use technology for your benefit, again, don't rely on it 100% because there's a lot of variability. Your body could change. There's a lot of different factors involved. So don't take it as do or die. But again, use it to help you get better and achieve your goals.
exactly. I totally agree. And the data tells you what is happening, and expertise obviously tells you what to do about it. So that is also much important. So also, like, you have coordinated major sponsorship deals with the NBA, MLB, NFL. So you have built a media presence across radio, television, films, books, and now AI era platforms as well. So the business of fitness and wellness is, I'd say, being fundamentally restructured by the technology right now. So the influencer culture, digital coaching, AI trainers on demand. So, for a fitness professional who is building a practice or a brand in 2026, what has genuinely changed about what it takes to build reach, credibility, sustainable business? I mean, where is AI creating all those real competitive advantage?
The biggest the simplest thing I can tell you is the very low barrier to entry. Before you had to kind of work, establish stuff over years. Now you can do it in one day. You could build a website in 90 seconds. You could create a whole platform, a social media thing in one day. That's what AI allows you to do. It allows you to move with speed. Now, is that good or bad? We don't know. But at the same time, it does allow you
Mm.
to start. So before, again, there was uphill climb, right? You saw a mountain in front of you and you're like, I gotta do so much stuff. It's gonna take years. But now, literally, you can start a whole fitness business in one day with
Yeah.
AI, simply in a few hours, actually. And so I think and I think that's good in a lot of ways because it gets people who would have kind of quit or didn't want to do it can just get into it right away. Now, the downside is you have a lot of fake oil people, a lot of shysters, just trying to get in it, make money, and get out. So you got to watch out for that. But again, I think it is, again, a tool. If you use it for good, it can be very helpful. It allows you to eliminate a lot of those barriers to entry and get started quickly. I always call it the instant action. It's the instant action, whereas everything else takes time. If you do it the old way with AI, man, you could be off and running within one day. So I think it's a great tool for that, and I think it will allow more people. And again, and I believe that people should do what they love. If they love fitness, they should be able to do it. So I think it
Yeah.
gets more people involved in it, more people starting this business, and if it goes good, that's great. So I support everybody who's trying to get better, who's trying to use AI as a tool to start their fitness business. So I'm very supportive of that.
That's really lovely. And I would love to also ask you about your filmmaking part. You are a filmmaker currently working on projects, which is including The Skinny Truth and Balco Labs, and also about the intersection of the film and health, which is definitely a space that you have occupied for decades. So from Rocky 6 to Subs, the movie on Amazon Prime, how is AI changing the way health content? I mean, the documentary, educational, even entertainment, I mean, gets made and distributed. So what does the filmmaking side of your work give you as a communicator and pure coaching or writing, which doesn't?
Yeah, look, AI again is another powerful tool in filmmaking. So what AI does, it saves time and money. So instead of going to New York and filming with sets, with people, with labor unions and all that, the cost and time of that will take a year, 2 years, and maybe millions of dollars. With AI, you can make that in 1 month and have the sets and have photorealistic technology. And you could do that with a very low barrier to entry, lower cost. And so what I've done actually is with my partner Henning Morales, we've created the world's first full feature AI film. And that's photorealistic. It's called Deep Frame. And it's in movie theaters now. It'll be on our platform Echoes TV. And so we're using AI heavy. So this is a full AI full feature film, the world's first. And so I'm heavy into that technology. I think it's great. I think it's becoming way more photorealistic to the point that even studios are now acknowledging it. And it's interesting. Recently, SAG
Hmm.
after the union for actors, at first they were kind of against AI. They were like, "Oh no, no!" But now what's happening is a lot of actors like Matthew McConaughey are licensing
Yeah.
their image. So now you have to pay them to use their image as AI. So which is cool because I think, look, if they get paid for their image, let them be in a film that they don't have to work at. You know what I mean? They can just make it on AI, and they'll benefit from that. Again, I think it's a tool it's already here, and it's already gonna come, and it's already gonna allow people to save time and money. And anything that saves time and money is gonna be used, and it's gonna become prevalent. So either you gotta get on that bandwagon or you gotta step to the side and be left behind. That's what's gonna happen. And so before SAG-AFTRA was kind of against AI, now they just recently released a thing that, hey, we acknowledge it, we're just gonna tax it. So if you use AI, you gotta pay a little bit of a tax, a studio tax. That's it. And so they already acknowledged it. They already know it's happening. And so I think the industry's actually accepted it. A lot of actors are freaking out, but I would just say license your image. Use your voice and your image, license it as AI, and then sell it. Why not? Make a profit so actors can win too if they're smart. Now, you can't be negative about it. Most actors are like, oh my God, AI is going to take my job. I can't do this. But if you have that attitude, you're not going to go anywhere in life. So to me, use the technology, maximize, use your brain. Be smart, man. You got to be a little smart and go with the times and then use AI to your advantage. Imagine a filmmaker now who, what's the biggest limiting step in filmmaking? The budget. Always. Oh, we ran out of money. Oh, we couldn't raise the 500,000 we needed, the million we needed. Now you could make a full feature AI film, photorealistic, A to Z for 100 grand, 50 grand, even maybe less. So it allows everybody to use their creativity, maximize through AI, and save all that time and money.
I totally agree. And story is still the most powerful distribution vehicle or for any idea. And I have to say that you have figured out, I mean, how to tell the health story through every medium which is available. So amazing. I really love that. So, I mean, practical AI for the real people. I mean, for the person who is listening right now, or maybe they will also listen later. Not an Olympian and not a kind of Hollywood actor as well. Just someone who wants to eat better, move better, and feel better. So, what AI tools or the platforms, or maybe you can say that any technologies that are you actually excited about right now? Anything?
I think there's a lot of new technologies out. We're working on a bunch of different things. A lot of it has to do with genetics. So we're working on a lot of advanced genetic technology and epigenetic technology, which we can use AI to incorporate the results. And again, like you said,
Yeah.
interpretation is very important. So we can actually program a lot of the interpretation based on the individual. So a lot of the new technologies I'm excited about is understanding genetics, understanding and interpreting epigenetics. Epigenetics are how your genes and your lifestyle affects your genes. So that is a very advanced science that AI can help kind of interpret, kind of simplify for the average person. So for the average person, I mean, you can go to companies like Nucleus, for example, to do DNA testing. You can go
Hmm.
to Biosynergy, another company that's doing advanced genetic testing. It's a cheek swab at home, and you can learn 500 different things about your body. And you can now use AI to interpret that based on you. So it's still not there yet fully, but it's a great technology. And again, the average person should learn about their body, learn about yourself, understand what is going on internally, because you can either go against the wind or with the wind. Most people are fighting the wind. They're just doing, oh, my friend does this, so I'll do that. He lost 20 pounds. I'll do the
Yeah.
same thing. Cool. But that doesn't really work. I mean, that's why a lot of people you got to work smart, not hard. Well, work smart and hard, but a lot of people are just working hard and they're not working smart. So that's why a lot of people work out for example, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and they always complain, oh, I'm not getting results. My God, I'm putting so much time in, and they get frustrated and then they quit. So we don't want that. We want results. And the best way to get results is to understand your body using that latest tech, that latest, DNA, blood work, all those type of things, advancements to really understand it. There's a lot of cool tools. One tool that's really cool is there's a company that if you take a selfie, it can look at any kind of deficiencies in vitamins and minerals from your face just from a selfie. So that's cool
Yeah.
tech. The things like that. The diagnostic industry, AI is going to revolutionize the diagnostic industry completely because
Mm.
it can read blood work in seconds. It can look at DNA results in seconds. And as that becomes more refined, more accurate, it's going to revolutionize everything.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. And Rehan, also I would love to ask you about the books. So you have written the Six Pack Diet Plan, which is bestseller, and you have also upcoming books, the Superhero Diet Plan. The superhero framing is definitely, I would say, interesting in this AI era because we are genuinely approaching a moment where optimizing human performance to the levels that used to seem kind of fictional is becoming kind of scientifically plausible. So, what does the superhero version of human performance actually look like with all the tools that are available today? And how far away are we from the biology actually matching this ambition?
Well, look, I mean, there's so many new tools and technology to enhance your body to super physiological levels. And what I
Yeah,
mean by that is, again, once you learn about your body, then you can actually use tools now. There's a whole area called peptides, and these peptides are incredible, actually. These are revolutionary things that can completely improve your health, lean muscle, fat loss, brain function, immune health. There's peptides for everything. So you can actually build a more of a superhero body using peptides. In fact, one of the peptide stacks that they have, they call it the Wolverine stack. It's a recovery and healing stack with peptides BPC 157, TB 500, GHKCU, a lot of these peptides that help you heal and recover from injuries, recover from exercise a lot faster. So they're actually calling it the Wolverine stack, a superhero stack. And so a lot of these peptides are going to be used now to get you advanced results, to really start looking like a superhero. So you see a lot of people walking around now looking like superheroes because of these peptides, because of advancements in technology. And actually there's AI. What's really cool is there's AI weight training machines now. There's a gym here in LA that uses AI in all their machines. I think it's called Fred Gym. And what they do is they use AI to monitor you exercising during the workout. So, for example, if you're doing a workout and you're struggling, the resistance will automatically get less during the movement. And if it's easy, it'll start getting harder. So it'll adjust. The AI will adjust the actual resistance load on the fly while you're doing the exercise. So that's really cool technology. That's very advanced. Again, it maximizes your time. So you maximize every second of your workout. And so that's what I think is very exciting. The peptides are going to revolutionize everything. There's a new one called retatrutide that's really already revolutionizing everything. Eli Lilly's coming out with it in the fall. And this peptide will be $1 trillion peptide. It's going to change everything because it's the peptide that not only helps you lose weight, preserve muscle, improves your blood work, helps kidney and liver health, and they're even looking at it actually for cancers. So it's to help with cancer. So it's an amazing new peptide. This technology will build superhero bodies, will change lives, already has. And I think
yeah.
using AI going forward, it's going to make you more of a superhero.
Exactly, exactly. I mean that gap between that elite performers have access to and what everyone else does is closing faster than I would say most people realize. I mean, what do you think?
Absolutely correct. That's exactly right. Now with all these tools, the average Joe could be a elite athlete, literally. And
Yeah,
because they have access, you know what? It's just access, and it's also price. The price of peptides is low. Now it's not. You can go to doctors and they'll prescribe you peptides for, I mean, everything for $300 a month, and you can get everything, and you can really improve your body, maximize things. And again, the more you're learning about your body, personalization, food technology, training, technology, all that stuff can again allow you to access elite level information for the average person, which is making them elite. So it's cool.
yeah,
I love that. I think, look, everybody should be the best version of themselves. I always say be
yes,
great, but don't limit your potential. Let's see what your body can actually do. And people always underestimate what they can do. And once they use all the tools, they're like, wow, I can look like this.
yeah.
I can feel like this. This is incredible. So I want to promote the idea that, look, you can be great. You can do it. And that's what I've been doing for the past 30 years.
That's really amazing, I have to say. And also, when we talk about the human element, like I was mentioning, with the technology that cannot replace, and definitely, I believe that human touch is something which is not replaceable. Definitely, but I want to push on the human side of this for a moment because with all the AI, the data, the variables, the programs, the personalized algorithms, the smart supplements, there is something that technology cannot measure and cannot optimize also, and obviously it cannot replace the mental and the emotional dimensions of a person's relationship with their own body, right? So uh, the I'd say the self-sabotage, also the emotional eating, the way stress destroys a perfect nutrition protocol. In your experience, in your 25 years of experience working with some of the most disciplined and motivated human beings, what have you learned about the inner work that no algorithm can do for someone?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, I think the inner work, humans have nuance. See, AI
Hmm,
doesn't have nuance, which means they can't read you real time at that moment. And that emotional connection that you can read a person. For example, if a client comes
yeah,
in and their face looks down, or you feel there's something wrong, a AI cannot read that. A human has to read that and be like, oh, he's having a bad day. Let me figure out something different right on the fly. And do something to increase the endorphin levels or the sort of neurochemicals that will enhance mood, that will lower the anxiety. But that nuance, only humans can have that, because the emotional part, understanding a person's emotion, understanding a person's experience that day or that week or that month, and what they're going through, their stress levels and all those kind of things, that monitoring real time AI, it's impossible because you don't have the human touch. So I think that humans bring that nuance that AI will never be able to do, because it's like real time readability. And I know the machines are coming, but like Terminator, but at the same time, you have the human touch, which can again soothe someone. For example, say the words that need to be said based on experience. And I think that's a big part of it, is a human's experience cannot be duplicated, because
yeah,
I've dealt with thousands of people from all walks of life, young, old, middle, super famous, super athlete, to regular moms, all over the world, whatever, for whoever it is. I've dealt with all of them, and that nuance and that experience of understanding someone's emotional state, someone's mental state, and in real time, that can't be duplicated by AI. So that's why I think the human touch is very important. And plus, I would say the one additional thing that no one talks about is the motivational aspect of it. Okay, so most
yeah.
people can't get motivated by a machine telling you, let's go, get pumped up. No, you got to have a human being saying, man, listen, you can do this. You're better than this. And to look someone in the eye as a human and to motivate, to inspire, to push, that can never be replicated by any AI or any machine for that matter. So when you look at someone, the way I motivate people, the way I inspire, the way I push beyond their limits, that can't really be duplicated by any AI. So I think that part is also very important to remember.
Exactly, exactly. I also agree. And quickly, I also love to ask you one thing. I mean, like Michael Strahan called you the man, the myth, and the legend. Sylvester Stallone said the best of the best. Ben Affleck credits you as a secret to his fitness success. So when you look back across 25 years of working at that level, what is the thing that you are most proud of that has nothing to do with the celebrity names or the sales numbers? I mean,
Look, the thing I'm always proud of, and I said this in another podcast recently, is I'm always the most proud of changing someone's life for the better. That to me trumps everything, trumps the fame, trumps money, power, and all those things. The fact that when someone says to you, listen, Rayhan, you changed my life. I was on one path. Now I'm on a complete different path. I feel good. I look good. My mental health is at the top level. My family's better. I'm a better man, woman for everybody else around me. That can't be unmatched. But when someone tells you you changed their life for the better, to me, that's the most thing I'm proud of, is I've changed thousands of lives for the better. And that's something I live by. Besides all the accolades, that's all cool. I appreciate it. I'm grateful. But at the same time, changing people's lives and improving their health and wellness forever is the greatest gift
Mm.
and the best thing that I've done in my career.
Exactly, exactly. So, like we are, before we move to the next, I would love to ask, like, if today who is listening, or maybe they'll be listening later, if you have to give one message to them, what that will be?
I would say that it's never too late to be what you could have been. And what I mean by that is that instead of making excuses, take massive action. I believe in taking massive action. They've
Mm.
shown studies where even just one workout, 30 to 45 minutes, can improve your mood immediately, can lower anxiety immediately. So my message always is take massive action. Go do something. Don't talk about it, be about it.
I totally agree. Totally agree. And Rehan, like for everyone who wants to find your books, follow your work, explore your upcoming films, or find out how to work with you, then where should they go?
There's two places. One is on social media, so you can get me at Six Pack Diet Plan, SIX Pack Diet Plan, or you could go to my website and get online programming that's customized to you at superherodietplan.com, and that will give you all the information you need.
Perfect. Perfect. So, dear listeners, all of that goes in the show notes, and go find Rehan's books, follow the filmmaking projects. And if you are serious about your performance and want to work with someone whose client list reads like the Oscars, Super Bowl, and the Olympics combined, then you now know where to look. So, Rehan, I mean, this was really, really an absolute pleasure. And thank you so much for sharing your time with us and sharing your expertise with us as well.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope people can benefit. And again, guys, go take action. Let's go.
Exactly, exactly. And dear listeners, before we move, I'll try to summarize what we have discussed. Is like what Rehan has shown us today is that AI and technology are genuinely powerful tools for human performance, but they are still tools. The science, the expertise, the human connection, and obviously the inner work that makes a real transformation possible. And those are still irreducibly human. So, and the future belongs to the people and the business that know how to bring all of that together. So, dear listeners, if to every one of you listening right now, maybe you'll be listening later also, here is the very, very simplest version of everything that I have shared. And also, like, your body is not a problem to be solved by any app. So, it is a system that responds to the data, yes, but also to expertise, to consistency, and the right support, and to the decisions to take it seriously. So AI is making the tools more powerful, more accessible to everyone every single day. What it cannot do is make the decision for you. That part is still yours. So come back to
Well,
AIBs every week. Yeah, because this is where we make the future of technology practical, understandable, and genuinely useful for the life that you are actually living for. With this hope, until next time, this is your host Avik, and this is AI Biz. Take care of your body that carries everything else. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much.